South Australia has a lot of amazing regional spots, and I'm here in Naracoorte, which is about 3.5 hours southeast of Adelaide, in what they call the Limestone Coast region. Naracoorte is a really great base for a number of different attractions around this part of South Australia. They have the World Heritage listed under UNESCO, of course, the Naracoorte Caves. They've also got some beautiful wetland areas. So I'm going to show you a bit of nature, a little bit of heritage, and a little bit of what a good old South Australian regional town is all about. Naracoorte has a population of about 6,000 people, and you can see from the town square that there's plenty of green space in between the two main streets. There's heaps to read about as you go through the town. I'll show you a bit more of that later, particularly the Heritage Trail with these signs. Church Hill, which you'll see now, is a major lookout point over Naracoorte. Before exploring the town though, I go out to Bool Lagoon, and Bool Lagoon is about 21 kilometres south of Naracoorte. Now, while a 4x4 is recommended, you can do it in a small vehicle, as I have. There's information on hand as soon as you enter the reserve, but you must pay for a permit prior to entering the park online. This visit was in July, and it might be the middle of winter, but that doesn't guarantee water. It's a seasonal wetland, so you have to ask at the information centre or elsewhere to get that information, but regardless, I still chose to visit the park. So I'm at the top of what they call the Big Hill Lookout, and you might be able to see behind me there's a lot of what looks like shrubbery and grass, all of that there. That actually is meant to be the lagoon. There's not any water to speak of at this point, but hey, it's still quite the sight. Check it out. There are walking tracks you can do that are well marked with the starting points, but then it gets a little bit hazy as you go in, so you do need some experience when trying to do these tracks, and primarily wearing some really good shoes too. But what I really loved was the Tea Tree Boardwalk. This boardwalk is, I guess, what you'll see in all the Instagram photos. If it was filled up with water, it would be like you'd be walking on water. I really enjoyed actually going along this, and it's really easy too. Anyone can do it. It only takes about 10 minutes to get up to the very end. And at the end, you do get a little viewpoint with which you can go inside and take a look at the greater surrounds. I really enjoyed trying to see a little bit of the local nature. The blue wrens are particularly famous in this area, and I'm pretty sure that this was one of them. For a bit of serenity, you really don't even need to leave Naracoorte, because they have this beautiful creek walk where you can go around the town as the creek follows the town centre in a horseshoe shape and actually gives you a very varied sense of nature. You've got everything from the creek itself through to cows, beautiful little bridges, and in the afternoon sun it just really glows. It was a really beautiful way to explore Naracoorte and what's around in the space of about an hour and a half. The Naracoorte Caves. They're in their own national park. They've been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1994 and remain South Australia's only site on that world list. Now, the caves that you can see from above here are part of their rooftop walk. When you go in the caves themselves, you're not allowed to film. So I have a few images here taken from the Alexandra Cave first and then the Victoria Cave following, which are the two major caves that you visit there. There's also the beautiful World Heritage Walk that's well worth a look. It's a 10-minute loop, so do that either before or after you begin your exploration. Back in Naracoorte, it's time to learn some history about the town. The Naracoorte Historical Walk, you can get a pamphlet for it from the information centre, which is pretty great, but you'll also see along the way these blocks. Now, this is a heritage trail, so they are technically two different things, but they cover the same major landmarks of Naracoorte. I won't reveal all the great stories here. It's well worth doing the walk at your own pace. But you'll see the word Kincraig around a few times because there were two townships that merged to become Naracoorte. And it's well worth the trek up to Church Hill as well to get a look out over the town. And I adore the police station mural. I think it's super awesome. So definitely keep a lookout for that one. But my final night was spent eating at the Naracoorte Hotel. Of course, it's all about getting a pub meal. So I got a good old schnitzel and a nice beer to go with it. And it was certainly a treat. There's a little insight for you into the Naracoorte region. While we specialise in Adelaide, we do really love getting out here to the different areas of our beautiful state. If you do have any questions or comments, just leave them below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We have multiple tours and services which you can find more information about by visiting our website, flamboyancetours.com.au. And don't forget to follow us across social media too so you can stay connected with what we've got going on.